I see that our trainer is here. He's in the distance someplace, but we are 1 minute before we get started. There's Mr. Latham. How are you, bud?
Good. How are
Look,
you?
you're sporting a stash, man. Your facial hair changes every day. I know
I'm trying to keep up with Bo, man.
I know Bo's gonna shave off his Fu Manchu. I told him he looked exactly like Eric Worre. He shouldn't touch it. 9 o'clock. Bing, bang, boom. Let me start us here. Okay, we're ready to go, Terry. It's all over to you.
Excellent, guys. Well, thanks for having me again on this Zoom this morning. I know last time we did this, it was a little bit different, and I don't want to shake it up too much, but I'll share a couple things with you. I think it'd be kind of fun. I'm trying to figure out actually how to do it. But I've been in the industry of network marketing for now 21 years. I've been with two companies, the CA being my second and final and last, and many reasons because of that. But when we first got started in network marketing, one thing I found is people kind of like to support one another, almost a challenge. So one of the things I would do, and you can do this anywhere, especially I think we can do it today on the Zoom. We're going to test it out to see how this works. But one thing I did, I had an apartment which I used as an office. And let's say I had 10 people that were there, or let's say 20, because normally it's a higher number. Say I had 20 people. And what I would do is I would separate those 20 people into two different groups, two groups of 10. And we'd put them around a table and they'd have their phones in front of them. And this was the rules of the game. We had a whiteboard in between the people. And this is what we did. We said, okay, guys, you got $3 to get an appointment. So let's say I had Adam, and he's going to start making his dials. He calls 3 people. Now, if 3 people and there's no pickups, hang up, go to the next person. And the thing is, and what started happening, then the next person would go, they got first person pick up. If they said no, they're not interested, hang up next. Next person, and then they set up an appointment. What they'd do is they'd go in the back and they'd put a mark on the board, just a bar, and they'd do it. So what would happen? That group of 10 would start to fuel the other group of 10. Here's another thing that would happen. As people were making the calls, the other people, they're getting nervous about making the calls in front of each other, but they started to realize that nobody's hurt. Nobody's drawing any blood. Nobody was having any issues with this stuff. And get this, even when the people didn't pick up, they realized it happens to other people at the same time. Another thing that started to happen when people said no, they laughed it off. It was very simple. So as a game, it was quite interesting. I had some pretty top-notch business owners that were in the Austin area. Several people that one was recognized as top women-owned business in the whole country. She's the CEO of a company. She was there. Another one owned the largest travel agency in the South Central United States. She was there. And here was the kicker. On the back end, that they had so much fun, they couldn't wait to do it again. And so it dawned on me, and here's another thing that started to happen. If you do this in a live setting, if somebody came in and they're just getting started into the network, and I don't want to call in nobody. I just want to observe. Great. Here's what started to happen. It was pretty fascinating. They would watch, and eventually they would get into the game. Why? Because they wanted their team to win. And it was truly cool. Now here's on the back end. We'd all discuss, we'd all have fun. The losing team bought pizza for the winning team. And guys, I can tell you, and here's the reason why we kept it simple and inexpensive, because it's duplicatable. Now I'll share this with you because you can do this anywhere. You truly can. You can start off 5 people, 4 people, and you'll break up. If you have 10 people, great. And you start just smiling and dialing. And what's the objective? Just to first off, get busy. We could sit here and I could give you great inspiration, great information and everything like that. But the big deal is it's about putting the one foot in front of the other, getting past the nervousness. So this is what we'll do today. And I think we'll see how this works. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but we'll find out. We're going to see we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Got 16 people. We can, and now that's excluding Cindy and myself. So we can break up in groups of 8. And what you're going to do now this is what's different. And I'm trying to figure this out myself. So we're going to all work together. What we'll do is we'll break up in groups of 8. I'm about to separate you in groups. And if you're not with your close buddy, sorry. But here's the thing. The only thing you're going to do, guys, is we're going to break off for the next 20 minutes and start dialing. And the only thing you're going to do each time you set up an appointment, mark it. That's it. And you set it next. Now here's the thing. What's the objective? Now, what's the best way to get more numbers? To not get into long, drawn out conversations. Okay. To keep it. And so what's the best thing? To leverage a tool, to drive them to a tool. I love realredoxresults.com. And the way that you can entice somebody to look at something like that. Now, this is things that I said personally. This was my MO. If I called, say, Bonita, and I said, Bonita, this is Terry, did I catch you at a bad time? She'd say no. I said, look, I'm about to make a massive business move. Just want to see if you're open to making some money. That's all I would say. And she would give me an answer. Now she said no. I said, well, that's easy. Next, hang up the phone. I'll call you later. Appreciate you, Bonita. We'll get together for a beer later, or, a glass of tea or whatever. So here's the deal. So the next thing is, let's say Bonita said, yeah, what is it? Say, Bonita, I'm glad you asked, but look, you're busy. I'm busy too. I want this company's put together a system of information to educate you so we don't waste each other's time. When can you take about 10 minutes or about say 15 minutes to look at some information? I can look at it tonight. Fantastic. I'm going to send it over to you. And how about this? I'll call you tomorrow, either at 10 or at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Which time works best for you? And they'll tell you. So here's the deal. You're going to make us quit. Now you can say how you want to. Another thing, you go to amazingmoleculestraining.com. You can scroll to the bottom. There's some great scripts and phrases. Now, I know some of you guys are getting pretty nervous right now. It's okay. Okay. Here's the thing. It's not in a book. The information and the knowledge you get, it's in a book, but the check comes from getting over being nervous. What you're going to discover today, as you're making calls, it gets easier. What we wanted to develop is patterns of consistency, because consistency is the key to success. So I'll break it up and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I got it. We got Cosmo, Harrison, Bill, Marcia, Sandra, Leslie, Bonita, and Carol's on one team. David, Paula, Peg, Adam, Lorraine, Ruth, Susan, and John are on another team.
So guys, what we're going to do is real simple. We'll mute out. Y'all start smiling and dialing, setting up appointments, find out what you're going to drive them to. For example, tomorrow night we got Alan Noble at 8 p.m. Central on discoversia.com. We got the Real Redox Results, what the tool that you leverage. I don't want to get too much detail on this. Don't overthink this thing. And get this, some of you are going to absolutely blow it. But let me tell you, by blowing it, you're winning. Okay. Because the only way you get better is by deciding to blow it. Now, here's another thing. If you mess up, don't worry about it. If you get flustered when you're talking to somebody, say, look, Lorraine, I'm sorry. I'm in a challenge right now, and I'm just really nervous. I was really nervous to call you. Thank you for taking the time. And do you mind if I follow up with you in a couple of weeks? Great. Or we got Bunko this coming Thursday. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. Great. Whatever. But guys, keep this very simple. It's about activity. And then we'll come back on the tail end, open up for questions, kind of take it from there. Sound good?
Sounds awesome. Ready, set, go.